Over a span of 27 years, Jeffrey James Godfrey and Vanessa Godfrey built a life together. Even though in recent months they had been living apart, they continued to share time and memories. In February 2022, the couple reunited for a 3-night stay at Pelican Waters on the Sunshine Coast during a friend's birthday celebration, making the most of a serene Valentine's Day weekend. Jeffrey, 53, was once known to his daughter as a gentle and caring father who wouldn't hurt a fly when sober. Yet behind the kind facade lay a decades-long struggle with addiction. For years, Jeffrey battled an escalating dependence on methamphetamine and cannabis. By the time he reached 40, he was using meth almost daily and spending around $3,000 each week on drugs, a pattern that ultimately undermined his mental stability, fueling persistent paranoia and delusions. In contrast, Vanessa, 46, was admired by all who knew her for her unwavering compassion and inner beauty. Her family and friends remembered her as a devoted and caring soul, always ready to lend a hand or a kind word. Her warmth and genuine love for everyone stood in stark contrast to the turmoil that had consumed Jeffrey. On the evening of the 13th of February 2022, the couple enjoyed a quiet dinner together at the resort, seemingly reclaiming a few peaceful moments from their otherwise complicated lives. The tranquility of that night would soon be shattered by events that no one could have foreseen. At approximately 5 a.m. on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, Vanessa rose early to prepare coffee for them both and to help soothe some lingering neck pain by asking Jeffrey for a simple massage using deep heat. In that quiet moment, however, the shadow of Jeffrey's long-term drug use began to overtake him. Overcome by a paranoid delusion, he suddenly accused Vanessa of having stolen his driver's license and Medicare card from his wallet the previous night. Seated between Jeffrey's legs as he attempted to provide the requested massage, Vanessa was met with a barrage of unsettling questions. Jeffrey began to insist that their entire life together might have been a lie. In his disorientated state, he started applying increasing pressure to her neck from behind. Within moments, Vanessa lost consciousness. Believing that he had caused her death, Jeffrey released her and slumped into a nearby chair. Then, in a twist of his unravelling logic, Jeffrey thought he saw a slight movement in Vanessa's chest, a sign that she might still be alive. Consumed by his distorted perceptions, he retrieved a knife and began cutting her arms. As his actions escalated, he ingested Valium and sipped rum before turning the knife on himself and cutting his own arms in a desperate, confused frenzy. Unaware of the tragedy unfolding behind closed doors, hotel staff grew concerned when the couple failed to check out as expected. At around 3 p.m, a welfare check was conducted. The staff's discovery was grim. Vanessa was laying on the bed, surrounded in blood, while Jeffrey was found asleep on the floor. Initially charged with murder, Jeffrey's case was later reconsidered in mental health court. During the proceedings, he was diagnosed with drug-induced psychosis, a condition stemming from his long-term substance abuse rather than from any organic mental illness. Justice Glenn Martin explained that Jeffrey's delusional state was the direct result of his years of drug use, which had eroded his grasp on reality. Although there was no evidence that he was under the influence at the exact time of the incident, his prolonged addiction had clearly impaired his judgment and perception. Ultimately, Jeffrey pleaded guilty to the manslaughter of Vanessa Godfrey. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison, with the requirement that he serve at least 80% of his sentence before being eligible for parole. When the verdict was announced, Vanessa's family expressed their approval, a bittersweet moment that underscored both their relief at a measure of justice and the profound sorrow of a life lost.